What's going on, everyone?
What's up, family?
How is everybody doing? Give us like a thumbs up if you can hear us.
Can you hear us?
Give us all that stuff. Gotta wait for the chat to come up there. There we go.
What's up, family?
Ooh, Shelly's on. She said it's cold and rainy there today. I want to pull up the YouTube over on my iPad so that I can maybe not bog down my computer as much.
I saw you guys talking about what the weather is like in places. 15 degrees, 16 degrees. Oh my gracious.
I know.
How do you even dress to go outside? Do you just wear your comforter from the bed?
I mean, yesterday was 95 degrees here when I was doing my games. And today, I want to say it was like in the low 90s. At least when we were cutting the church, it was.
Chris says, I don't think Rachel's mug is big enough.
Rachel never has a big enough mug.
It's as big as my head.
Let's see who's on here real quick. Let's try not to get too far. But look, we're already behind. So Chris said, so if we can make enough comments before the live stream even starts, do you think we can keep Joe going for 3 hours?
You guys are so
Vivid
awesome.
J is on. What's going on, Vivid J?
Hey,
Rachel's
Vivid J.
on.
Hey, Rachel.
Vicky is on. Renee is on. Casey Smurf is on. Rosie is here. TZ's Life.
Hello.
Annie Val. Constance is here.
Check out Constance's channel.
Yes.
She has been doing some product reviews that are on point, and also some recipe videos.
Yep. Charlie is here.
She's the bomb.
Shantum, am I saying that right? Shantum, am I saying that right? Let us know. Heath is here.
Hey, Heath.
Stephanie is here.
Ayo.
James is here. Miriam is on. Rosie is here. Wait, let me get through who is on here, please.
I was just so excited to see Shelly's ground beef scramble that she had today. And I thought, man, she's got the eggs exactly like you like them.
I know.
They were kind of runny.
Okay, can I get caught up before I get too far behind?
I get so excited.
Abed is here. Brandon is here. Alan is here. He said, good morning, good evening, a nice and warm and clear water. Yeah, that's right. He's in Clearwater.
Clearwater.
Mel is here from Connecticut.
Ooh, I bet it's cold there.
Rachel said you look like, Stephanie said you look like a country bumpkin.
I am a country bumpkin.
Jacqueline is here from freezing New Jersey.
Oh, my gracious.
They switched off the comments. They're supposed to be on. Why are they not on? This thing has been acting
always
funny
something
lately. Okay.
We've always got something.
Comments, restream. There we go. I must have switched it off. I must have put a different setting on there. Okay. Aaron is here and Valentine is here. We have a bunch of Aarons.
Hello.
Vivid J said it was too cold tonight or else I'd be going out on open mic. I might take some coffee and join Rachel with her mug.
Awesome.
Rachel said it's 15 degrees and supposed to be 52 on Saturday. We should be in shorts.
I would totally be in shorts. I could
At 52? No, you wouldn't.
50s and 60s, I could totally live with that.
You were freezing in Omaha and that's about where it was.
I don't know. It just feels refreshing. I can wear layers.
Shelly said, I got the info on the low-carb cruise. So did I. Chris sent it to me. I guess Chris sent them some information that we were thinking about bringing a bunch of people. It's actually not as bad as I thought. I forgot exactly off the top of my head, but it's about $1,600 for 2 people in a room.
That's not horrible.
Which is not horrible.
We don't have to sell a kid.
And I'm going to email
awesome
her.
news.
Chris sent me everything. He forwarded me everything today. I'm going to email her because they're having a thing because you have to pay for the cruise and then there's an extra fee for attending as the low carb for all the speakers and stuff like that. But there's a deal through I think the end of March where it's only $100, and this is for 2021.
Okay.
But they're just trying to hammer down everything right now. And by then Jimmy Moore will be back. He's going to come back off the sabbatical. He's actually going to be wrapping up this year's cruise, but we're not going to go this year.
Do you think I have enough time to get a tan?
In a year, I would hope so.
Maybe.
Sense with Lori said, born and raised in Central Florida, now in Arkansas.
Wow, Florida
I actually
girl.
saw Keto Savage did his a tour of his parents' farm in Arkansas. I want to move to Arkansas.
Right?
I mean, they've got goats. I mean, he was slaughtering a lamb. They've got goats. They've got everything. Horses. I want to move to Arkansas. I want that much land.
One of our pastors is from Arkansas.
Anthony is on. Our son Anthony is on.
Hello,
Anthony is going to be joining us once we get caught up with comments as a guest where you guys can ask him some questions about what it's like to be
a kid.
Be our kid. Renee said, I had my Butcher Box salmon last night, just butter and Redmonds and perfect.
Proud to be weird. That is the greatest name ever.
Yeah,
I am also proud
Shelly
to be
said
weird.
they're doing a $100 discount per person for the seminar if you book by March 31st. I'm going to message her and then see if we can get something that I can send out to all of you guys. Stephanie said, I did an Aldi's haul and got some awesome meat today, and then it did an awesome Sam's haul.
Oh
awesome.
My goodness, that is cool. What are some of the things that you got that you thought were like the bestest?
Shelly said, my dinner was so tasty, I made it to lunch tomorrow. Chris said it's a discount to $100. Normally the fee is like $175 for the cruise. And again, that's plus the cruise thing.
Tina Lafante, hi from New Orleans.
April is here from South Georgia. She said it's raining and 42 degrees.
With a freezing warning by Saturday morning.
Proud to be weird is in Plantation, Florida. We have a lot of Florida's followers. We are going to have to do some kind of a meetup.
We got to do a meetup.
Yeah, we'll have to figure out how to arrange that. Devin said evening all from the Windy City.
Hello.
Susan is here from California, 1.5 hours from completing her first 48-hour
yes.
fast. So let's talk. We're still fasting.
We're still fasting.
And this one was not my idea. So we woke up this morning, tons of energy. I went to work, and it was kind of interesting. I think I kind of freaked Anthony out a little bit because the way we usually do this is we both jump. We have 2 mowers. We jump on the mowers, and then when we're done, Anthony and I will both do some weed eating, and then I'll stop a little early, and I'll help him with the edging and the blowing. I got done mowing long before he did his half, and instead of helping him on like the big field, I just stopped mowing and jumped on the weed eater and weed eated like 3/4 of the church in like 30 minutes. Normally it takes like an hour and a half, but I had so much energy. It was insane.
Same here. I got up. I had like a ridiculously productive morning and I wasn't hungry. Now that I have my coffee back, which is so sad, but like my headache has subsided because I've given it my obsession of choice. And I feel really good. So I'm like, yeah, let's just do this. Let's go until noon tomorrow is our aim.
Yep.
But that would be 113 hours.
Yeah, so we were going to break our fast today at like 1 or 2 o'clock with some bone broth. And then, I kind of called Rachel and I'm like, I don't know, I've got so much energy. She's like, let's do 100 hours. I'm like, 100 hours would put us at like, it wasn't that I couldn't do it. It was like, it's midnight. And I don't want to eat at midnight. So I said, if we're going to do this, it's got to go all the way till tomorrow.
Yeah.
So, we're going to break our fast tomorrow, somewhere around noon, 1 o'clock. So it'll be like, but somewhere between 113 and 115 hours. I cannot believe, like, I'm not hungry at all. And I checked my ketones.
Yes, me too.
And my ketones are over a 3, which is insane for me.
Mine's a 6. So, yeah.
Rachel's
I may
got
be
a
talking
6,
fast.
And she's got, like, her blood sugar is, like, in the 40s. So... yeah.
Crazy.
But you got a ton of energy, so we're going to do it. And we figured that tomorrow is probably pretty much the last day that we will have an opportunity to have a date day, date night, date evening, anything until we go to Keto Salt Lake. Because all of the lacrosse starts on Saturday, where I will have 4 games on Saturday. I'm off on Sunday, but we have church.
Right.
And then Monday games, Tuesday games, Wednesday games, Thursday games. Friday we're off, but that's for now. I'll probably end up with a game. Then 5 games again on Saturday. And that's going to be like that all the way up till Keto Salt Lake.
So tomorrow?
That's it.
Date day.
It's our own. So we're going to do the whole day. I got one thing to do in the morning. I've got to go set up the computer at church. We'll be done by like 11 o'clock. And then it's date day until...
brown chicken, brown cow.
Don't say that.
I just like making you
So,
blush.
I cannot believe that we are still fasting. I never... you would have told me 5 days...
But the thing is that when we got done with the live stream yesterday, we were so inspired by you guys that we seriously bawled our eyes out last night. We were so amazed at all of the people that participated in this. We were completely blown away by your commitment to your own health goals. And we were just flying.
I'm looking on here. Carmen put, like, you two blow me away. This is ahead of that chat. And it actually, like, it was, like, holding it because of the word blow. Like, YouTube was like, is this a naughty word? I had to approve it.
How funny is that?
So, we're going to keep going until tomorrow. We have no intentions on stopping, but I just can't believe we did this.
51 and Drizzly.
Vivid J said, hey, Miriam, it's always nice to see you in these live chats.
It is always nice to see Miriam and Chris. They are so stinking awesome.
Janet said, you both are amazing. You make keto easy. We love you both.
We love you. You keep us going.
Keto ain't that easy for us. You guys keep us inspired and keep us going.
You do. You keep us motivated every single day.
Devin said, oh, it's for 2021. Maybe interested in going. I need to look into that.
Look into it. We are going to take
over the one
that
this
ship.
year is just, it's too close. It's in May. I know Chris and Miriam can't go because they've got kids graduating.
How exciting is that?
I'm hoping they're going to go next year, but I know they've got kids that may be going off on missions and that kind of stuff. So yeah, Chris actually said 2 of our kids may be away in college by then. So do we book it or not? That's the question.
Yeah,
yes,
that's challenging.
You book it. You book it.
Bring them with you.
Bring them.
Happy graduation present.
Let's see. Stephanie said, I dragged James all over town today, doing hauls at Aldi, Sam's, Tuesday morning, and Big Lots.
Oh my goodness. He's probably exhausted, but that's fun. I love Tuesday morning.
Vivid J said,
oh my gracious.
I want to move somewhere south anywhere. I'd slaughter animals like Keto Savage too if I have to. I would love to have like our own farm to do that. I mean, especially watching, like I would have cows, but I want cows to slaughter. Rachel would name them all.
I would name them.
I'd have an issue with that.
Yeah.
I
could milk them.
I don't even want her to name the chickens.
Oh no, I'm naming them.
Brianna said it's 28 degrees in the mountains of Colorado. It's just like Joe being used to the heat. 28 is comfortable for us. I suffer in the heat of South Florida.
I can totally believe that when you get used to a temperature.
You get acclimated. When I first moved to Florida, my first year here, coming from New York, I kept the house at like 65 degrees because I was always hot. By the next year, it was up to 75 degrees. Because you just get used to it after a while.
I'm 43 years old, so I'm always hot. Always.
Let's see. He said, OMG, we love Nola. Slap a Stick is on. He said, I have to rewatch the beginning about the cruise. Aaron said, I found bacon wrapped scallops at Aldi's. They were so good.
Oh my gracious. Yeah, they are stepping up their game with their fancy pants.
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
And guys, if you have any kind of like a question you absolutely want us to see, just there, you can use the super chat down below. You can put whatever kind of couple dollars you want. It makes us see it faster and it highlights it.
Any questions that you have for Anthony, you can go ahead and start.
Yeah, we'll pull him in a minute. Well, we have to do the giveaway, but I have to pull up
He got a little sunburn today.
Yeah. Why don't you do some of these comments while I pull
Let's talk
up the
survival. I'll have to watch this later. Got a 7-mile after dinner hike to get through first. Wow, that is amazing. Very impressive. All right, I can move this
You
up.
can't do that.
Oh, okay.
I have to do this.
All right.
So I'm going to let you banter for a little bit while I pull up the other video.
So Rachel bought 8 boxes of the bacon scallops from Aldi's. I would have bought more, but that's all they had. Yeah. When it comes to Aldi, if you see something that you like, don't hold off on it. It will be gone the next time that you come to Aldi. So we just grab whatever we find. Today, I found they had, Tillamook? They have little sausages that are 0-carb sausages. I'm very excited about those. I just threw them in my bag. I didn't even look at the back of the ingredients. I just threw them in my bag. So you
put something on my desk and you didn't even look and see what's in it? I didn't even look at it.
And I also got their keto ice cream. I got very depressed at first because I noticed that they just had basically like a Halo Top version in their freezer case. Right. And I thought, oh, dang it, they don't have the keto ice cream at our Aldi because a lot of times our Aldi gets everything last. But then if you look in the special section that is in the middle of the store, that's where they were hiding it. So I got one of each flavor for us to try. We'll definitely do a review of that ice cream. Really looking forward to that.
Yeah, I saw that you got the ice cream. I'm just getting this stuff ready. Grab that stuff down there that we're going to do the giveaway because then we can pull Anthony in.
Here we go. I got to move the cat.
Oh, okay. Kimberly says, what do you drink during a fast? For this fast, we did only water for the first 72 hours. And just because we've never done a fast without, drinking coffee or diet soda or anything like that. So we only did water and electrolytes. And then Rachel at hour 72 or hour 73 had some coffee, but she's eliminated her coffee because she realized how bad her caffeine is. I had a grapefruit Zevia last night, and then today I had some soda, but that's all we've had. We haven't had anything other than that.
Just having this giant head mug of coffee. So this is what we're giving away. We're giving away...
No, we're not. Was that it?
Yeah.
Are you sure we were doing salt? Yes.
Yes. We're doing the
I forgot what
ancient kosher sea salt. This stuff is great.
Right. And then we're doing the mask and stuff.
And we're doing the mask.
Because I didn't think we were doing salt last week.
Well, we're doing it. This is the Earth Paste peppermint flavor. It's not quite hillbilly teeth, but it does have like a funny feel because you're probably...
It doesn't foam.
It doesn't foam.
Right.
But there's a chemical in toothpaste that makes it foam, and it doesn't have this chemical you don't need. So
and then we have the masks.
Then we have the masks. We have, let's see, mint, charcoal clay mask, and
I'm getting behind on comments here.
I'm sorry. And then we have the bentonite clay, the facial mask, and we have a little guy. A little guy.
So let's go over to share the screen. It's using our other camera down there, so sorry.
Sorry.
Okay, so I got the YouTube URL in there. So we're going to go fetch. This is from last week's live stream. There are, let's see, 62 comments in last week's live stream. The winner is Jackie Hilling. Said I will be starting my fast tonight on 2:15 at 8 p.m. Look forward to doing this fast with you all.
So exciting.
Jackie, if you can do us a favor and send us an email at 2krazyketos@gmail.com, and we will send this stuff out to you guys, to you. And then don't forget that we have the other one going on for Keto on the Couch. We got to switch over to the other.
So congratulations to Jackie. Camera. I will make sure that I kind of put it in social media too in case she's not in this live stream. Now, before we move on, I have to note, Susan Dover says, I'm going on a cruise in 15 days celebrating 11 years cancer-free. She lost 85 pounds on keto. Wow. We are super, super celebrating that with you. I hope you have a stinking blast on your cruise. That is amazing. That is definitely something to celebrate. Way to go, girl.
Where's the other scene? That's the one I wanted. Thank you. Took me a while. I don't know. We have that extra scene in here.
Can you move it up for me?
Yep. Let's see. Vivid J said, I've been a little cautious, but I've had some pork for lunch with asparagus and creamy mustard sauce with peppers, Headbangers Kitchen recipe.
That sounds really good.
Tonight I had a burger with egg and cheese.
That sounds delicious. Will this be our longest
fast? Yes. We've never done a fast past 72 hours, and that's why we encouraged all you guys to push yourselves, which is why we had extended it today and said if we could go 90 hours, that would be awesome. No plans on doing it. In fact, when I told Rachel I wanted to go to today, she wanted to kill me, and then going till tomorrow was her idea.
Yeah.
Let's see. Rachel said, yes, bacon rack scallops. I threw them in the air fryer and I dipped them in melted ghee. So delicious.
Oh my gosh. Yes, that is the way to cook them.
Susan said, I feel I can continue with my fast as well. I'm not hungry and I have so much energy as well.
I feel like if you just kind of intuitively, don't need to stop, just go until you're hungry is kind of the thing.
Rhonda said, you don't have to gain weight after a fast. I gained after doing a 48-hour fast because I didn't break it correctly. The time with your guidance, I'm the same weight as I was when I ended the fast. Yes.
I love that.
The biggest thing you have to worry about gaining with a fast, if you don't break it correctly, is water weight. You're going to, you should always expect to gain a little bit of water weight, but it's all going to depend on how you break your fast and if you do it right. Like, don't break your fast with a whole bunch of carbohydrates, even clean carbohydrates like vegetables and something like that, because your insulin is so sensitive, which is one of the reasons that I add in stuff like cream of tartar to help with, bringing up my potassium level. I want the MCTs. Your insulin is so sensitive when you're breaking that fast that it'll skyrocket with just a little bit. So that's why you want to break it light and then have something after that.
Yep.
Jacqueline asked if it was our longest fast. Yeah. Renee said, I looked at the bone broth at my local grocery H-E-B and they all had added spices and vegetables. I have to get some from Sprouts when I go into Corpus. Yeah, we use the one from Kettle and Fire. I happen to really like them. They've also given us a really good coupon code. They actually have a special one for us. I forgot what it is. It's like Crazy Fast or something like that.
Oh.
And they said that if I know they have some vegetables in there, but I'm willing to put up with those couple carbs because they use actual marrow to make their bone broth, and a lot of the ones that you find in the store, especially like Walmart, the cheap ones, they're actually making it from broths and from bases. They're not making so it's not technically a real bone broth. You're not getting all that collagen.
It's more of like spices to taste like it.
Yeah, so I like the fact that, and plus they use apple cider vinegar, which I really like.
So Robin says it's cold in Pennsylvania. Scroll up one more time there, Mr. Joe.
Which way?
Right
up
there.
Or down?
Right there. Cold in Pennsylvania, but no snow. Are your parents still looking to move to Lancaster? I'm about a half hour away.
My mom is talking about moving to Lancaster from New York after she sells her house in New York City. Or Long Island.
In Island Park.
I wanted to look for something. Stephanie's got something there.
Got some catfish fillets, a bag of seafood mix, shrimp, scallops, calamari, and mussels, and 100% beef patties for her daughter. That's amazing. Aaron is saying, like, Shirley, aren't they amazing? I love them. Gonna go grab some more tomorrow. Vivid J said that Headbanger's Kitchen recipe is my all-time favorite keto recipe. And yes, I bought his book. Yes, if you have not checked out Headbanger's Kitchen,
his book is in Costco, or was it Costco or was it Sam's Club that we saw his book? I want to say it was Sam's Club. I think it was actually Sam's Club.
It was Sam's Club. I'm always excited when we see keto cookbooks in, different stores. Like, I remember the first time we saw a Keto Connect cookbook in Costco. We were almost as excited as they probably were when they saw their book.
We bought it too.
All right.
Chris said he LOL'd at the brown chicken, brown cow.
Brown chicken, brown cow. All right. I was going to move it up for you. So Slapstick Keto says, don't you hate when you're trying to listen to a keto live chat and your kids keep trying to talk to you and argue? We've so been there. Keith says, hey guys, I can't stay tonight. Promised Becky I'd spend the night with her. Good. But I wanted to say hello and remind you to review the proof of the magazine and hopefully give your approval to publish.
I did. I didn't get a chance when I was cutting. I saw it come in, but there's like no internet there, so I couldn't open it. And then I didn't get done because I decided to get all of my work done today so that we can have a day tomorrow. And so I didn't get home until like 5 o'clock.
Take a look at that.
Devin said, not feeling great today. Miriam Blair, massive headache. Hoping it passes. Going to make some keto chow soon with base powder. Anxious to see how it tastes. Hoping I don't dislike the egg protein like Joe did.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Well, I hope you feel better, Devin.
Rachel said, I'm going to stop at a different Aldi tomorrow to see if they have more. They're amazing.
Yeah, I'm totally willing to just go through all of the county and all of the Aldis to check for something that I like.
James wants to know if Chris and Miriam are going to Low Carb Houston. I want to know that too, because that's going to help determine if we're going. Susan said, I feel good too, and I have so much energy as well. Alan said, great job on over 100 days fasting. It's so easy after the first 2 to 3 days. I know you didn't do this for weight loss, but it will be interesting to see how much you lost. So as of a couple minutes before, I actually am even with where I started, which kind of lends to the whole calorie thing, if you ask me. Now, I know that there is like some electrolyte imbalance and stuff like that in there, especially because I was working today and I worked yesterday. But they say that if they say every 3,500 calories is a pound, and if I burn a minimum of 2,500 calories per day, which is like what my watch says and everything based on my BMI and how I do, if I don't do anything, I burn 2,500 calories a day, right? Just laying on the couch all day. That means that I should be down at least 4 pounds at this point, or like 3.5 pounds, but I'm not. So that to me is once again why I don't believe in the whole calorie thing anymore, because it just doesn't, a lot of stuff doesn't make sense. And I was listening to the obesity code today with Dr. Fung, and he like laid it out perfect about metabolism and stuff. But you are down a ridiculous amount of weight.
Yeah, when we started, I had gone up a couple of pounds. I was like 150 when we started this, and I'm 141 today.
So Rachel's lost 9 pounds since Sunday.
But as soon as we eat, it's going to go up a little bit. It's just the way it is.
But at one point, you were up 5 pounds during the fast. You were up 5 pounds on like day 3 or on day 2.5.
And that's a scary thing.
Right.
So our message is stay off the scale.
Stay off the scale.
Do you fit in your clothes?
A vet said, I'm cooking filet mignon with the sous vide tomorrow, hoping for a yummy steak. I just took some short ribs out because I'm going to put them in the sous vide tomorrow to have them on Sunday. Yeah. Is my plan.
We're trying to see if they'll taste better if we keep them in the sous vide
Steph said, I've been bragging on everyone succeeding in the fast. to everyone I talked to in town about keto.
That's nice.
Let's see. Parrothead said you are 2krazyketos. Miriam said the kids just want to hang out with you, the cool guy. It's distracting though. That was to Vivid J. Sheila said it's 16 degrees in Michigan.
16 degrees. Oh my gracious. Vicky says, I was amazed I did 37 hours. Don't know how you are still going. That is an awesome...
At 37 hours is awesome.
Nothing to sneeze at. That is amazing.
Devin said it's barely 20 degrees there.
Great day in the morning.
Couple things repeating here. TC said I would take 28 over 98 any day. So would I.
So Aaron says, I can't wait to see y'all's chickies.
Yep. We're still waiting. I'm at the point where I'm just ordering 8. And you're going to deal with having 8.
Oh my gracious.
Either that or like somebody said, like we'll get 8. And then if they actually all survive, I mean, there's a chance that 1 or 2 of them don't survive the shipping.
Please, Lord, let them survive.
And, I mean, I'll just put them up on OfferUp. So I'll give them away for free. You're only paying $3 for them.
Oh my goodness, I hope all those babies are okay.
Let's see. Devin said you have an eating Bubba the chicken. Yes, I would have her eating Bubba the chicken.
It is so hypocritical of me that I'm going to eat chicken wings tomorrow, but like the thought of killing our own chicken like makes me cry.
Well, you know, on Keto Savage's little vlog about his parents' farm, and you know, they were there talking about like he was actually butchering this lamb, and they were talking about how like this is the part that nobody wants to see. They would much rather go to a grocery store and pick it up and not think about this was an animal and see it slaughtered. But it's the much better way to do it. I mean, obviously we can't because of where we live, but I know that's something that I think is really cool, you know, where people are able to just do that kind of stuff and go out and go hunting for their own animals and slaughter their own animals.
Something that really resonated with me, and you know, really don't do well with offal and like all of the weird body parts and intestines and kidneys and guts. However, I was watching the Strong Sisters today talking about eating cow brains. Mm-hmm. And how,
I didn't see that one yet.
Well, they were talking about how if you really love animals, you don't want to waste a thing.
Right.
And that really resonated with me because, yeah, this animal has given its life. We should eat nose to tail.
Right.
Just for that reason alone. And there's...
I don't know if I'm getting into the brains and stuff.
They had, their cookbook came out, which is, I think it's called the Organ Encyclopedia.
Yeah.
And I'm interested to see, and they actually have like ways to mask the flavors of some of these things. I'm excited to get that book. I was thinking about Miriam too because she loves keto cookbooks. That's like one of her favorite things is to collect keto cookbooks. And I thought, are you going to get the Organ Encyclopedia? Should I send that to you, like, you know, as like a fun gift?
Let's just take a look at. There's a couple of here for Anthony. I'm going to have you repost them because we're going to bring them in a minute. But I want to see if we can get caught up a little bit.
It says,
Chloe said, "OMG, are you still fasting? I finally broke at 2 p.m. with my homemade bone broth.
Awesome.
The salmon and roasted Brussels sprouts feel great. Thank you both for the fast."
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Let's see. Joe's fixing comments, furrow brow.
For the win.
I did want to say, guys, if you are interested in the Perfect Keto sale, it ends tonight at midnight.
Tonight.
So there's a link down below. That'll take you directly and automatically put the 20% discount in your cart. So it's 20% off everything on the site.
I have missed my collagen during this fast.
Veda wants to do a week Vitamix Keto Smoothie Challenge to kind of detox after fasting. I did 72 hours fasting and finished last night, but today binged all day and it defeats the purpose.
Well, you just get back in the saddle tomorrow.
Yep.
Don't worry about it. Don't punish yourself. Just get right back on a meal plan tomorrow.
So Rachel can't wait for the Aldi's ice cream review. We're not going to do it tomorrow because I'm not like breaking a fast with Aldi's ice cream. I have not looked at the ingredients.
Okay. Me neither.
Rachel put 3 of them in the freezer.
I just put them in the cart.
I quickly saw on the front 5 net carbs and 6 net carbs per serving.
Ew.
So I don't have high hopes for it. I'll be honest with you right up front because how much was it?
$3.99.
$3.99. So it's $1 less than buying Rebel, you know, which is in a lot of grocery stores around the country now.
Yeah.
And it's I think it's about $1 less, or even the same price as Enlightened, which I don't know how much Enlightened has gotten into the grocery stores yet.
How much is a pint? How many carbs in a pint of that?
Well, of Rebel, it depends on the flavor, but it's like 4 to 7, and the same. And Enlightened's even lower. Enlightened is like 1 to 2 carbs per serving, so it's between like 4 to 8 carbs for the entire pint.
Because I'm probably going to eat the pint.
So you're looking at this Aldi's one. I did see it's 3 servings for a pint, but you're looking at, if you ate the whole pint, like 15 to 18 net carbs.
Gracious.
For the pint. So, but we'll see. I didn't look at the ingredients, partially because I didn't have my glasses and I couldn't read it. So, but we'll see. We're going to probably do it on Saturday.
Grandpa Joe.
Saturday after Keto on the Couch.
Okay. Okay, so they're asking, Anthony, define what healthy means to you, please.
Okay, why don't we pull him in?
Yeah.
Anthony?
Scooch down.
We're going to let Anthony come in here. So we're going to kind of hold off on some of these other comments. Stephanie did say, yogurt. Oh,
Shooting us with Nerf guns.
Yogurt will be ready to put in a container at 2 a.m. and I have a few waiting to sample. James shared the news that I was making it around our hobo town. Let's see.
What soda do you drink? Usually Zevia.
Yeah, I usually drink Zevia every once in a while. That's going to be...
His Giants water.
Every once in a while I will have a Diet Coke, but I do try to avoid that stuff because of the caramel coloring.
Do you need to slide in from the ends?
We're going to have to scooch in or turn the comments off the screen. I don't think there's anybody in it. Honey, you're going to have to scooch in. You scooch in.
They've seen me before.
You're underneath the comments.
Hello.
Okay. So this is Anthony. So we're going to kind of put a pause on the comments here. So we may not get to all the comments tonight. This is Anthony. Anthony is our middle son. He is 19 years old.
20.
He'll be 20 in July. Mm-hmm. He's got a long man bun. And I don't know, all of a sudden lately he's taken an interest in our live stream and stuff.
Well, you asked me to do it.
I asked you to do it. So let's make sure the microphones are over, everybody. So Anthony, I've been trying to get him to do keto. No. He doesn't want to do keto.
I'm good.
He loves to cook. He loves to make us keto meals, which I think is really awesome. I mean, he's come up with some biscuits and gravy. I'm trying to get him to do that on camera, like make some recipes. We're going to work on him doing some recipes because he is a really good cook. And he's kind of like self-taught himself how to cook, right? He watches a lot of videos, things like that. So we got some questions for you, but Rachel was asking you a question earlier. We'll kind of kick off with that.
So one of the things we were talking about earlier was when I was heavy, like over 100 pounds overweight, I was very worried when you were a little kid that I was embarrassing to you as a mom. Did you feel embarrassed with a heavy mom?
No.
So here's the thing.
The kid doesn't tell the difference.
It's like I'm just your mom and that's all you know. So I was thinking about that because what happens is you have all of these fears that your family members see you a certain way. Then when you lose weight, I had all of these expectations that you're going to be like so overwhelmed by my weight loss.
Yeah.
Because finally you're no longer embarrassed by me. And yet you were just like, okay, there's my mom. Cool. She's made a change. Yeah. So
where's my sandwich?
Exactly. Where's my sandwich? So do you think that maybe, as a parent, that we put too much pressure on ourselves and on you as far as like how have you felt about us losing so much weight?
I mean, it's good for you guys, but I never thought you guys were fat. I mean, I just they're my parents. So okay. I don't know. That's how I am.
Try to look at the camera. The camera's up there.
That's actually
I'm looking at the big TV.
Feels good. And I hope that is an encouragement to people out there who maybe have put pressure on themselves or maybe not join the PTA. Like I didn't join the PTA because I was afraid of embarrassing Anthony.
Right.
I usually didn't want to be team mom for different sports and stuff.
Why don't you scooch in a little bit?
Because I was afraid that I would be an embarrassment to him. So don't be afraid if you're not at your goal weight to participate in your kids' lives and in the extracurricular activities that they do. You do not have to be perfect. Don't miss out on those opportunities because I think I missed a lot of stuff.
Okay, so let's get to. So Yvette wants to know. She said, Anthony, after seeing the results from your parents doing keto, why don't you want to do it? Because he weighs like 160 pounds.
I know. I weigh like 175.
Okay.
But I like Swiss rolls and I like cinnamon rolls.
So you like the dessert stuff.
So,
and I've never struggled with it, so I've never had to like. I've never had to go on a diet, so I've just never.
Yeah, Anthony is pretty much the only one in the family that's never struggled with weight, which sometimes, I hate to tell him, can be even worse, right? Because there's hidden dangers. Now, he keeps very, very active, but...
There's only one time where I got over 200, but then lacrosse season started, and I lost 40 pounds.
Yeah.
And then it hasn't been a problem since.
Since we've been eating certain ways, have you changed some of the things that you eat?
I mean, yeah, I'll eat your food.
Yeah.
I like the food.
I have noticed that you don't buy as many packaged things.
No.
That a lot of times you make things from scratch. Mm-hmm. And have you noticed a taste difference in that?
I mean, I know once in a while you buy Swiss rolls, but I also have seen you a lot of times pick up bars and stuff and been like, oh my gosh, look at the ingredients.
Yeah.
Did that come from us doing keto?
Yeah.
Like paying attention to labels more?
Yeah.
Okay, so TC's Life wants to know, can you define what healthy means to you?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I feel like as long as you're not like, if you're not like in danger of being like at a health, like obese, like I feel like maybe if you're obese, you should try to like lose weight. But I feel like some people go too far where like I'm only gonna eat vegetables because that's healthy. Because there's a definite. I feel like I'm healthy, but I eat cinnamon rolls and Swiss rolls and pasta, but I'm just able to work out. It all depends on how your metabolism works and how you can work out.
Well, and
if you lose weight and if you're in healthy condition.
Do you try to put desserts like in their place? Not something that you maybe eat every single day, and like the bulk of your.
No. Oh well. I guess I don't eat it that often. Like, I'll eat it. I always have food, but I can't always keep food in my room, or I'll eat it.
Right.
Miriam said that I look so cute when I furrow my brow when I'm fixing a problem.
That's why I keep my Swiss rolls in the car, because if I take them inside, I'm gonna eat them.
So yeah, even you have a fence around your desserts.
Okay, so I'm looking for questions for Anthony. A lot of talk. Charlie wants to know how my burn is. It's getting better. It's not as bad as it was, but it still hurts a little bit.
It now looks like he has a very interesting birthmark.
Yeah. Hopefully it'll go away. Looking for questions for Anthony.
Well, there's one there.
Sorry if this is off topic, but if you had any issues with the Keto Chow website today, tried checking my package throughout the day, and I got a buffering wheel.
I saw whose ever question that was, why don't I want to do keto? I like Swiss rolls. That was the answer.
Somebody wants to know what we're going to break our fast with. Bone broth, and then we're going to Buffalo Wild Wings, and we're going to bring them home, and we're going to make our own blue cheese dressing.
Which that recipe is on our website, and it is ridiculously delicious.
Now, that's something you love.
The blue cheese, yes.
Our blue cheese dressing.
Yes.
So, as I'm looking for questions here, let me ask you, so how did you feel when we said this is how we're doing it, and we literally throw out all the bread, the pasta, and all the stuff in the house? What was that like for you?
It sucked. I wanted my food, and I didn't have it.
Okay. But, when it came to the bread, are you happier now that we're not going to buy bread, but do you enjoy the bread that you make more?
Yes.
Because I noticed last week you spent 6 hours making challah bread.
No, that was weeks ago.
Okay, well, a couple weeks ago.
Last week I spent
cinnamon rolls.
You made cinnamon rolls, yes. But the week that you made that bread, that took you all day.
That took me all day. That took me.
Did you find that you enjoyed it more because you made it yourself over? So if somebody's not doing keto, would you suggest them doing that over going to the store and buying it? Why?
Because it's only 5 ingredients, and there's nothing going in it, pretty much.
Not a bunch of garbage.
I can list the ingredients: honey, eggs, flour, and yeast, and that's it, and butter. So there's nothing, like, there's not hodgepodge of Play-Doh ingredients going in there to shape it. The only thing is when you make it and you mess it up, it's that much more of a disappointment.
Right, because you have so much invested.
The first time I burnt it, because I put it in there too long, and I forgot it because I was watching Harry Potter. And I burnt it, and I felt really bad. Like,
Curly Wishes Caviar Dream said she's new to keto. I clicked on this video by accident. Any tips on how to start? It's so much information out there. Well, welcome to the family, Curly. We have a bunch of videos on it. If you send us an email at 2krazyketos@gmail.com, we'd be happy to point you to some of our better videos and videos from other YouTubers that can help you get started in the right place. But we'd love to welcome you to the family and help you on your journey. I'm looking for...
Hold on. Lamb brains are amazing.
Lamb brains are amazing.
I just read that comment too. I'm like, what?
I'm looking for questions for Anthony. Miriam has a keto cookbook problem. She says it's not a problem compared to my old computer parts thing.
There you go.
Devin says I have an issue when I'm eating my fish and it's looking back at me.
Yeah, I take the head off of it. I can't eat fish with a head on it. Can you eat fish with a head on it?
No. I mean, I could. I mean, if you gave it to me and I could pick it off, if I didn't have to worry about getting the bone, I mean, it's food.
Ed asks, what are our thoughts on sugar-free Jell-O? I just looked and it has maltodextrin in it. We've had it. It does have maltodextrin, expected to possibly spike your blood sugar a couple of points. My thing is, you know, if you have it and it's like, say, once a week, once every couple weeks, I wouldn't be concerned about it. I would be concerned if you're going to eat it every single day because it's going to spike your blood sugar. I was thinking today, though, when I was working, I think I may have an idea for a really keto-friendly Jell-O. I just got to be able to eat and put it together and taste it. But if it does what I think it's going to do, it's going to be awesome, and there won't be any maltodextrin in it. It'll be just using beef gelatin.
Heather says that she loves church cookbooks. Yes, I love looking at church cookbooks when they make like a compilation of like all the recipes from members and stuff. Oh my goodness, I love that.
Yeah, Renee said make your own with Knox gelatin and electrolyte flavoring. Sheila wants to know if there's any discount codes for Keto Coach strips. No, the only discount codes that they do give out is for getting the meter, which we have one. It's 2krazyketos. I think it gets you 10% off. The cheapest way to get the Keto Coach strips is honestly to do their subscribe and save, which makes them 59 cents a strip. And the thing is you can change it whenever you want. So like we actually have them sent to us every other month. And if about a week or 2 weeks before they're going to ship them out, they're going to send you an email saying, hey, we want to remind you that we're going to send out your strips. And you can, with a link that if you want to delay it another month or another 2 months, you can. So you're not locked into it. You can cancel it at any time and you can control it. So there have been times where I've emailed them and said, hey, I need them faster. And there have been times where I said, hey, I don't need them because we haven't tested in a long time. But that's the cheapest way to do it. Let's see. 99 electrolyte flavoring, 100 keto cookbooks. Mike said I would eat hearts and liver. I don't want to eat kidneys or lungs. I also do not want to do intestines unless they're used for sausage casings.
Yes, they frighten me.
PJ said the last time I helped kill a chicken was in 1968 and 8 years old with my grandpa. He had an egg rot and we went to every town every Friday to deliver in his Studebaker truck. Dang, I feel old.
Wow, that's precious though.
What were you going to say, Anthony?
She likes Timothy.
Timothy? I would much rather use Keto Chow to make ice cream. Yes, I would.
That's your favorite way.
Somebody's waiting for us to come out with a Keto Chow ice cream bowl for the bathtub, like a floating bowl.
Get on that, Joe. Seriously. I need that.
All you gotta do is just get a bowl and put a pool noodle around it.
You think so?
It would float.
Let's do it. You should try that.
Yeah, get on that.
What?
You have to just get a bowl and then tape a pool noodle to it.
Heather's making Keto Chow ice cream later tonight.
Heather says, hello, Anthony.
So Miriam wants to know, Anthony, have you got your $1,000 to do keto for a month
No.
yet?
Nowhere near it.
A lot of people have offered.
Someone offered $100.
A few people have offered some money. And yeah, we're not giving anybody that option. We don't need anybody to send Anthony money.
No, please don't.
Parrothead Renee said, you're rocking the man bun. I still can't believe I have a son that has a man bun, but somehow he pulls it off. I think it's the beard thing that makes him pull it off.
He's going to play Jesus in the Easter production.
Vivid J said the Aldi ice cream macros are like the original Halo Top and the original Enlightened flavors that are not keto. That's kind of what I'm feeling, but again, I need to look at the ingredients.
I noticed that Aldi also has like a Halo Top version of their it's Aldi brand.
Now I did see Halo Top is coming out with a keto ice cream, so we will look for that one as well, because Halo Tops really are not. They were the most keto friendly, but still high in carb and low in fat, low in calories. That's what their selling point was. Their keto version is going to be high fat, very low carb.
Miriam says the middle children are always the best, right?
Yes, they are.
I think Miriam's
Thank you for the shirt compliment too, Miriam.
Shelly said they're pretty active with meetings and events. Join Keto San Antonio group. They're doing a meetup in March with Goody Beats. Miriam said, Heather, I don't think I could stay up till 3. We get up at 5:15 every day. I could not function.
Yeah.
He said you're blushing.
Bring Anthony to Keto Salt Lake so he can cook for me, please.
Good. I would have been
Vivid just said, I would love to have been the middle child if my parents decided to have another kid.
Sarah was showing me something the other day where it's like the middle child is usually the most reasonable one out of all of them.
I feel like you're pretty reasonable.
I'm probably the most reasonable.
I think you are. Yeah. And I do like the support that you give to us, that like cooking food and stuff like that. Even if you aren't keto yourself, I like the fact that you respect it. You know, that's a real encouragement to us.
So Miriam said that her mom weighed 400 pounds. It never bothered her. She felt the same. I felt the same as Anthony. She was my mom and the best person in the world.
I have a question.
Okay.
I want to see what people say. If a tree falls in the forest and nobody's there to hear it fall, does it make a sound? I want to see what people say.
Okay.
So Renee said keto isn't a diet. People gain weight on keto or carnivore. It depends on what your goals are.
Very true.
It comes. I mean, the bottom line is, I mean, keto is a lifestyle. It's supposed to be very low carb, operating on a different fuel source. But if you still eat inappropriately, you can gain weight. If you're eating too much by like eating throughout the day, forcing yourself to eat when your body's not actually hungry, you know, there's a difference. But that's because we're eating with our mind instead of with our stomach and with our hormones telling us you need to eat. Too many times we're eating because we are emotionally eating.
Yeah, that's definitely true for me. So like I still have to deal with my relationship with food. That's something that still has to be worked out, investigated. And I'm, all the time learning stuff about myself.
So Chris said Anthony may want to check his A1C and his fasting insulin. He might be doing just dandy metabolically, or he might be on the road to problems, and that will tell.
Yeah.
I don't know what A1C is.
It's what is your average blood sugar over the course of 6 months?
Couldn't I just do that finger test?
Oh, I could test your blood if you wanted me to test your blood.
I'm good.
I mean, we should probably
I don't like having
that.
my finger pricked.
You actually don't feel it, but it would be interesting to see what your blood sugar is. But the thing is that we talk about all the time is you have skinny diabetics, and sometimes you have what's called skinny fat. Like you're fat on the inside, but you look skinny on the outside. And it's just where you're storing your fat. Yeah. And sometimes it's more dangerous for a skinny person. Joe, can you remove the comments so we can see Rachel? I have no problem removing the comments. The only reason I don't is because you guys can't see if somebody's on the other side. But we could definitely do that if I can look on here and just turn them off. There we go.
There I am.
Okay, so Miriam said, people can gain weight for sure. I often think people forget about that.
Heather says, my mom had type 2 diabetes when she was a size 2. Yeah. Just remember that fat is not equivalent to healthy. We forget that too frequently.
Oh, yeah, no, I know. Like, I feel like there's a difference between, like, I'm going to choose to be fat. I feel like I don't want to start a war, but, but, like, I feel like, if you can do something about it, then maybe you can try to change it. But that's just me.
Vivid J says, "Hey Anthony, how does it feel to have celebrity parents?"
Well,
he doesn't. No.
He doesn't have celebrity parents. That's for sure.
How long is my hair? It's long.
So, no, answer the question on... So, what was it like, I mean, when we came up with this silly idea to start a YouTube channel, what were your thoughts?
I thought it wasn't going to last as long as the other one you did.
Well, the one I did years ago. But, I mean, did you think we were, like, idiots for doing this? Or
no, I mean...
Did you think that a year and a half later we'd still be doing this?
I didn't.
And then we'd have over 8,500 subscribers?
I thought it would pass.
You did?
It's here to stay.
It's here now. I mean, and the fact that we travel and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
it's cool.
So, they want to know how long your hair is. Are you willing to pull it out of your man bun?
It's going to look bad.
Yeah.
Let's see how long your hair is. It's very wavy.
It is.
It is very, very wavy. He's got very long hair.
I feel like if it was straight, it'd be like down your back.
Now, the original goal, what started this was you were trying to grow hair like Jax from Sons of Anarchy.
From Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah, I think you've passed him at this point. So, how long are you going to go?
I don't know.
I'm
just letting it go.
Let's just do it till it can't go anymore.
So Renee said, exactly, Chris. I had lost so much weight down to 112 pounds and looked and felt so sickly, but I was skinny, and so many ladies complimented but not healthy. Now, Rachel went through that on her first weight loss, and before she started gaining it back, eating 500 calories a day, she got down to, like, what were you, like 137, something like that? Something like that. But everybody in the family was telling her she looked anorexic. She looked sickly.
I was gray.
My
coloring,
gray.
My skin was bad.
She had like wrinkles throughout her face. I mean, she just looked horrible, where we were all begging her, please, 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 please eat. But she was terrified to get heavy. And now you weigh about 8 pounds more than when you did then, but you look healthier.
But I feel good.
You feel better.
And I eat a lot of food.
And you eat a lot of food. So
which is much better.
There's something about it. The pounds don't mean that much.
Can I make a bunch of your blue cheese dressing and put it in a container in the fridge? Will it last a while, or will I have to eat it all super quick?
It'll last pretty much as long as the ingredients. I would tell you, it doesn't last in our house. About a week and a half it'll last if you make everything fresh. Like if you go get fresh sour cream, if you get fresh mayonnaise, or if you make your mayonnaise fresh that day, you're going to get about a week and a half out of it.
But
you can cut it down. We usually double it.
First.
I make it. It doesn't make it doesn't last 3 days in our house. It goes on everything. Burgers, everything. Chris said, probably like my kids, I kept saying, hey, we're famous on the internet. They said, yeah, we know. We just don't care.
Aw.
Slavistic said, I haven't had keto chow all month. I'm wanting some too next month, but I have bought a good amount this month.
I would like carnivore.
Anthony might like carnivore for bodybuilding more over keto.
I would.
But would you be willing to give up any vegetables and stuff like that?
Vegetables, yes.
Anthony really doesn't eat a lot of vegetables. He eats a lot. He really does. I mean, he has his snacks, but when he's at home, 90% of his food is what we're eating. Yeah. It's meat and fats.
I wouldn't be surprised if I'm in keto.
Yeah, I wouldn't either, because, I mean, the treats that you have are pretty rare. Yeah. I mean, they're there. It's like you're saying you don't want to give that up, but I would say the majority of his diet is beef, bacon, ribs, chicken. Yeah. And he is working on, I've got to have you try. So we were talking about this yesterday. So Anthony loves to make his own like ramen things. He goes and buys just like rice noodles or stuff like that and puts together the broth and all the vegetables and everything. Well, you've got to try it with the Redmond organic salt, which tastes exactly like chicken broth. But you only need about a half a teaspoon and hot water. I'm telling you, try your broth with that, and then I need you to do the one for keto some
for our
channel. Like that tonight.
See, I might have a picture of my ramen.
Anthony, have you ever wrapped the cinnamon rolls around bacon?
No.
But that would probably be delicious.
That would probably be good. Oh, it's a long question.
So Mike wants to know, what are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? Why are you interested in working for us? Where do you see yourself in 5 years, 10 years? Why do you want to leave your current company? Paste it from the list of most common interview questions.
Oh, okay, well.
What are your strengths and weaknesses?
I don't know.
You're very musically inclined.
I will go back up to that question, too. Go back up. Strengths? I'm strong. I'm really good with piano. Anything I do, I honestly do pretty good at it. That's at least for me. I mean, you guys can
super
just
humble.
I would say the
I'm
one
humble.
thing, I think Anthony's biggest strength, which could also be his weakness, is he never quits.
Yeah.
And if you tell him he can't do something,
that's
that's
accepted.
like declaration of war. And I remember even when he was in like 3rd and 4th grade, Florida had these standardized tests, and if you didn't pass these standardized reading tests, you got left back. And every year he was not, he knew what he loved to read, but he was a horrible test taker.
Yeah.
And the reading, honestly, the test was stupid because they were the worst stories. They would give you a story that was the most boring thing.
Why did Shakespeare why did he decide to use the color red? I don't know.
Yeah, and then give you some weird thing. And so he would always fail the practice. And the teacher would tell us he's going to fail. Just be prepared. He's going to fail. And every year he would get exceedingly high marks because when you tell him he can't do something, it's like, yeah, I am going to do it. I'm going to prove you wrong.
Like Donkey Kong.
We kind of need to use that with him on keto.
Oh.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
I don't know.
Is there a wedding that I will be attending?
I don't know about that.
Anthony does have like the greatest girlfriend in the world.
She is the coolest
She's
lady.
in the other room right now.
And she's extremely shy, so you'll never get her on here.
She's beautiful and awesome and
She is
super
awesome.
talented.
James said he wants to know, have you ever thought about starting a cookie channel? I think you would do awesome.
Nah.
I can see a cooking YouTube channel on your own.
Yeah.
Well,
Seems like a lot of work.
What was it with Babish?
Oh, I love binging with Babish.
Binging with Babish is definitely his favorite.
And then Joshua Weissman.
Very
Joshua
fun.
Weissman is very funny. He's very sarcastic. He's funny.
Heath wants to know if broiled crawfish or shrimp bother you. They have the head and eyes on them. I
don't
love
like
crawfish.
I don't like crawfish.
I'm not a big
love
fan.
crawfish.
There's so much work to like get out.
Yeah, there's not a lot of, but I love the spice.
I like the
I don't.
seasoning.
Miriam said, I think bacon wrapped cinnamon rolls without the cinnamon roll sounds delicious.
Do any of your church family try to convince you that keto isn't healthy? We've had
a couple people.
We've had a few people.
Yeah.
And then I instantly disproved them, and then I made them rethink their philosophy.
Thanks for that.
Thanks for defending us.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, we've had a few people. We've had a few people, both from church and not church, say it's not healthy. And my attitude is this. I was almost 290 pounds. I had high blood pressure. Never did have my insulin checked, but I know I was insulin resistant. I know I wasn't diabetic. I mean, I've talked to a couple of doctors about it. They're like, I can tell you weren't diabetic just because you were so heavy and the way you gained weight. But I definitely, I had horrible arthritis. I would snore bad at night. I know I would wake up from probably sleep apnea.
Yes.
I never got tested for any of that stuff. But I was in bad shape, physically and with my health. And I know Rachel had the same thing. So you want to tell me that keto is unhealthy? I'm a lot healthier than I was 3 years ago. I've got perfect blood pressure. My arthritis is gone. I've got good cholesterol levels. Everything is way low. When I did get checked to have everything, and I'm having some blood work done now, but when I got my stuff checked a year and a half ago, the guy said I had some of the best numbers he's ever seen.
Yeah, my acid reflux is gone. I was experiencing stroke symptoms, so that's why, I'm really enjoying that now. I don't have any of those symptoms anymore. I would be driving and be blinded by bursts of light. It was really scary. And
it's funny because one of the things I was listening to Jason Fung's book today, and it's the Obesity Code. It's a really good book. I highly, highly recommend this book. But one of the things he was talking about early on in the book was the fact that all of our recommendations for eating high carb, low fat came from the McGovern report. And that was literally our politicians stepping in going, hey, people are saying sugar is bad. People are saying fat's bad. So we're going to get together and we're going to decide for you what it is. And it was the first time in history where our government stepped in and said, this is how you're going to eat. Now, the funny part was that was 1977. And I was talking to Rachel about this on the phone today. And people say, I want to see studies. And I agree with Jason Fung. He's like, I don't want to see animal studies because animals aren't people. There's nothing the same about animals to people. And so I want to see human studies. Well, here's the thing. I'm a human study on what the result of that McGovern report was in 1977.
Yeah.
I was born in 1970. I was skinny until I was 7 years old. My parents had like full fat milk delivered by a milkman in the glass jugs to the house.
How
We drank all that. We ate beef. We ate high fat. I'm German. We ate a lot of sausage, all of that high fat German food. 1977 rolled around. I got news for you. When I was 8, 9, 10, that's when I started putting on weight. When the whole low-fat craze, when we started drinking skim milk in the powdered, like, mix your own stuff.
Whack.
Yuck.
That was our diet change, and you can see that, and they can see. They said obesity and the diabetes epidemic started almost the same year as that report came out.
It wasn't a coincidence.
But I'm living proof. I'm a 40-year study showing you that the way they recommend we eat doesn't work.
Same.
Did you know that we share 70% of our DNA with a banana?
Fun fact.
Interesting facts.
Well, because we said we're not related to animals, so I just wanted to throw that fact out there. I'm pretty sure it's like 70%. I know we have a lot in common with the banana.
Well, like, so one of the things, and I don't want to give away too much from his book, but one of the things he said, like, look at it this way. He's like, there's like the parable of the lion and the cows. And he says that, okay, so one day there's 2 cows out and they said, hey, I heard that you'll be much healthier if you eat meat. So they stop eating grass, they eat a bunch of meat, and then they die. Well, like a year later, you have 2 lions and they're talking and they're like, hey, I heard eating meat will kill you because they killed the cows. So let's start eating grass. And they died. What? They have nothing in common.
Right.
But they heard, and it's the same thing. Well, if you give mice this, it kills them.
I never understood why we test everything on mice and be like, yep, that'll be the same reaction in humans.
Yeah, so I want to say, what does it do in a human? And all I know is this, is I'm doing very well.
Brianna says, Anthony, your mom seems like such a fun person to be around. What's the craziest thing you can remember that she did? Did she ever go too far and embarrass you?
I don't think she ever went too far. I feel like the craziest thing she did was she went to church in a robot inflatable.
That was recently.
That was recent.
Pretty crazy. Anthony, how about I give you 1,000 high fives? Those are pretty valuable. Then you could do keto for a month.
No. I don't know about that.
Heather said Halo Top Keto ice cream has sugar in it. Yeah, I have not seen it. But I keep seeing everybody say they want to buy it.
I'm waiting for the answers to my question. Ah, there it is.
What is that?
Yes, it does make a sound.
I believe it was toward the end of the clip.
Have you ever tried to make raw vegan keto cheesecake with cashews, monk fruit, and coconut cream and dress it with wild blueberries and raspberries? I have not. I would have no problem with that, except for we really don't do fruit. You know, I don't think we've had any even. We've got a whole mess of blackberries in the freezer. I don't think we've had any in a year.
Yeah. Tiffany says, hi, y'all.
Let's see. Chris said, if a tree falls on a meme in the middle of a forest and nobody hears it, does anybody care?
Poor mime. I mean,
I don't think so.
I don't think anybody will care. I mean, nobody will know.
So Mike wants to know, we know where Anthony is. What are the unreasonable children doing right now? Caleb is doing schoolwork, probably.
No.
He's playing video
playing
games.
Star Wars.
And John Paul, I know John Paul doesn't live with us anymore, but I'm pretty sure he's either working or at school. He works like super hard.
Yeah, it's Thursdays.
So, Miriam said Anthony makes...
Yes! Aaron! Yes! Yes! If we define sound...
I got microphones.
I'm sorry. I have used that argument, and nobody wants to go with that argument. Thank you.
If we define sound as vibrations of an eardrum, then no, it doesn't make a sound.
Okay, yes. You made Anthony's day, Aaron.
Yes, you did. Thank you.
Have you ever thought about going to culinary school?
No.
Well, you actually did.
I mean, I did, but then...
I tried to convince him.
Yeah.
My thing was, I actually worked hard to not have him do them because my thing is that as a chef, unless you can somehow pull off the magic of being Gordon Ramsay or some high profile... if you own a restaurant, you always have to be there. Otherwise, half of everything you have, it walks in and then out the back door. So you always have to be there. I think it's very stressful. Most likely, you're always going to be working for somebody. being somebody's chef, it's very hard to become the top guy. But I think as a YouTube person, you would be awesome coming up with different recipes, and you could be great that way. And I think you would enjoy it. Sometimes I feel like people say, like, how come your house doesn't have amazing landscaping as a landscaper?
Because the last
thing you want to do when you get home is do what you're doing all day long.
It's like when you're an accountant and you always file an extension on your tax return.
Or a lot of nail people don't want to do their own nails. They go to somebody else because they do it all day. So I would be worried that he would lose his passion for cooking if it was his job. And he's good at it. Miriam said a Whomping Willow on Harry Potter. Let's see.
Sheila says, my son's name is Anthony but goes by Tony. Do you use a nickname?
No,
Tony?
we call him Ant.
Yeah, we call him Ant.
I mean, he
was really little when he was younger. I mean, he was in like the T's, like 6T, when he was in 5th grade. I thought he was never getting out of the T's. I thought there was always going to be a T after his clothing. So yeah, it just kind of made sense that it was like
part of the thing is he prayed himself small. Mm-hmm. Because we had a deal. I was actually just working on the vlog from when we went to Universal last week, but we had a deal. Like, part of our thing was when we were taking kids to Disney and the Universal Studios was if you are tall enough to ride on a ride, you must go on it because we have paid to be in this theme park. No, it was always. But we were like, you paid to be in this theme park, and we are getting our monies out of this. Well, Anthony was afraid of roller coasters. So he literally would pray that he would not grow. Mm-hmm. And for years... He didn't grow. He went 3 years without growing an inch. And I remember, I think he was like 7 years old, still wearing a 4 or 5T.
Yeah, I was small.
Well, he was tiny.
We actually had to sit him down and say, stop praying that.
And then finally, one day he just shot up, and then he got on a roller coaster and absolutely loved it. Although we were the worst parents in the world, because, again, we've talked about this, we're single rider people, so we took him on the Hulk. If you've ever been to the Hulk in Universal Studios.
First roller coaster.
Not even thinking. First time Anthony's going on a roller coaster, we go up single rider line, and they go, okay, come on. And they stuck him on the ride, and he had to ride in the front row by himself. And as he's walking away, Rachel and I looked at each other and like, we are the worst parents in the world.
That was definitely like a huge low point as a mom. He looked at me from that roller coaster like, you stink, lady.
If I had a Nerf gun right now.
Yeah, if I had a Nerf gun right now.
But then when he got off, he was like, I want to go on it again.
Yeah.
And he became addicted to roller coasters.
He loves them.
I still won't go on big, tall, straight up ones.
Chris says the reason I said Anthony should check is that we have identical twin daughters. One is doing keto and the other is not. Non-keto twin A1C is exactly the same, but her fasting insulin is way higher.
That's interesting.
Very interesting.
That said, you look like me. He may look like me, but you would say, I mean, he is not Rachel's biological child, but you would swear he is. He is the same as her in every way. His personality, what he thinks is funny, what he enjoys. I mean, they're movie buffs.
I can quote almost the entire Harry Potter movie franchise.
I'm really, really blessed to have him as my son.
Chris said the non-keto twin will probably have type 2 diabetes in 15 to 20 years.
Wow. Joe, do you think you can use a can of coconut instead of whipping cream in your yogurt to give it a coconut flavor?
You can actually in the yogurt instead of yes, you absolutely can. You can use I would use the full fat coconut cream, and then when you do is like get the coconut cream, the cream of coconut, put it in the refrigerator for just a couple of hours, and what's going to happen is, or you can just use full coconut milk. What's going to happen is all of the solids are going to get hard and there's going to be water on the bottom. Leave all the water. Throw that out. That's where all the sugars in the coconut milk is. And then just use the cream part, and that will work. You can actually make yogurt like that. Keto Connect, that was the first keto yogurt I ever made. They actually did a yogurt making it just with that coconut milk.
Arlene says, is Anthony the only child at home? How do your siblings feel about mom and dad on keto? So he is not the only child at home. Caleb is our youngest child, and he is also at home. How do you feel like Caleb feels about us?
I mean, he did it for a couple months.
Yeah.
Did it for like 6 months. So I feel like he's good with it.
Joe, did you have hair like that?
I did not have hair like I had long hair at one point, but again, I grew up in the 70s and 80s. So that was like, you remember like you had the tail, like, so I did have longer hair at one point, but I wasn't allowed to have it very long because I went to a Catholic high school and they made you cut your hair.
Anthony looks like the guy in the new Canada Dry Ginger Ale commercial when his man bun is up.
There we go.
Maybe he could do locks for love, which is awesome. Like growing your hair out and then donating your hair. Call me old-fashioned, but I love men with longer hair.
Vadim wants to know if we've done DEXA body composition test or calcium scores, a CT scan test. We haven't. I want to do a DEXA scan, but there is only 2 places around here that do DEXA scans. They're both. One place is $150 for the scan. The other place wants $225 for the scan. And from what I understand, talking to people around the country, that is ridiculously expensive.
We're hoping to get one maybe when we go to
Utah. I know Chris and Miriam said that there's some cheaper places in Utah, so we're hoping that when we go out for Keto Salt Lake, we're going to be getting in at Wednesday at like 10:30 in the morning. I'd like to go over there and get our scans done because I'm curious.
Susan Benson says, hello guys, miss you. Miss you too, Miss Susan.
Keto Mom says Ray looks amazing now, night and day difference.
Thank you. RAE is my nickname among the family. Was wondering about the keto cereal. Have you tried it?
Which one? So we have tried Catalina Crunch. It's okay. I like it. We've tried, what's the other one that we've done?
Magic Spoon.
Magic Spoon. Magic Spoon was pretty good. We're not cereal. We used to be huge cereal eaters. My problem is it's what's a serving. And it's not just with the keto cereals.
Any cereal.
Any
serving
serving
is as much as I want until I'm full.
It's a
right.
It's the box.
Thomas DeLala put up a video thing today on like things to avoid, and he was talking about granola. And he's like, a serving of granola is supposed to be like a third of a cup. Who has ever eaten a third of a cup of granola?
Nobody.
No, it's like fill up like 2 cups in a giant bowl.
Who's eating a third of a cup of cereal? Or even a cup, right? Like it's that much cereal? No way.
Yeah,
I have to stay away from it.
My problem with again, I think that the Magic Spoon has a good taste. I like the texture of it. I like that it didn't get soggy in the milk. But when I look at the amount of carbs I'm getting for only a half a cup, it's not worth it to me. Now, I didn't even tell you this, that the Cereal School, which is the other big one that everybody really likes, but they say it's a science experiment, but they say it tastes the best. Mm-hmm. They did reach out to us and ask us if we would do a review, so that should be coming soon. I just responded to them today.
What do you think is a serving of cereal?
Until I'm full. I went to the store because I was going to buy cereal. I can't go to the store hungry or I buy everything.
I don't think anybody should go to the store hungry.
I went and I was looking at the cereal and I was with Sarah and we saw a Twinkies cereal. And
Part of a hard, healthy breakfast.
And they also had honey bun cereal. And they also had, they didn't have that one there. They had powdered donuts.
And
I looked at the ingredients.
Who's like garbage.
90% sugar.
Well,
sugar and maltodextrin was the first
saw
two.
one. Rachel and I went to Big Lots when we were shopping for our patio furniture. And remember, they had a sour gummy worms cereal.
Ugh.
It had more sugar in one serving of that cereal than in a movie-sized box of gummy worms.
Yeah.
Like it was healthier to eat sour gummy worms, the whole box, than it was to have one serving of that cereal.
So when you're looking forward to having kids of your own, do you think that you will restrict their sugar intake, or do you see yourself buying gummy worm cereal and honey bun cereal?
In other words, do you see you and whoever your wife is,
Sarah.
Do you think we like her?
Yeah, we love her.
Do you see you guys raising your children the way we raised you, with like how much can we feed you for $1, or do you see yourself seeing what's happened with us and everything, raising them a little bit healthier?
Probably raising them a little bit healthier.
We're sorry.
No.
We'd like to publicly say we're sorry.
I still feed myself for $1.
Yeah, but the ectoplasm
do as I
nonsense,
say, not as I do.
Yeah, Capri Sun.
I'm still going to eat that way.
Miriam said, no one in the house likes blue cheese in my house except for me. Thanks. I probably could get through it in a week and a half. I do have a ranch dressing coming out soon.
Chris, you need to try it, blue cheese, though.
Yeah.
It's fire.
Our blue cheese is awesome.
Yeah, you got to try it because you may be surprised. You may actually like it.
You can even do, our blue cheese tastes great even if you don't add blue cheese. Just between the seasoning that I add to it, you're mixing sour cream and, why can't I think right now? I've got too many ketones. Like, I'm literally
cream
flying
cheese?
off. No. What is in my blue cheese? Sour cream and mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise, yeah.
I mean, it's just incredible. Slavic saying here, I'm the only one that will eat moldy cheese. So Heather said her son won't do keto because he likes beer too much.
Whenever I go to a place, they always offer me beer.
So Renee wants to challenge you of 1 week of level 4 carnivore. Could you do that? I don't know what level 4 is. Ooh. I mean, to me, carnivore is eating. Could you do 1 week of only it has to come from an animal?
Probably.
Would you be willing to do 1 week of only from 1 week? That means heavy cream. You can have butter. You can have all the bacon you want. You can't have any sugar.
So
1 week.
Can't have any flour.
No flour.
Think about it.
I'll think.
I would love to see just 1 week and see how you felt on it.
Yeah.
Let's see.
My dad said that about blue cheese while eating blue cheese.
Keto blue cheese is for old people who have taste buds who have stopped working.
Slapstick Keto says, well, I'm going to turn 40 this year. Must be why I like it. You're a baby man.
Heather said, Phil loves blue cheese. He's the only one in the family that does.
Constance says, I love blue cheese. I didn't before keto. Anthony, follow your dreams. You will be most successful with what you are passionate about.
Anthony actually has expressed interest in taking over our landscaping business, is what he would like to do.
Which I think he'll be awesome.
Which I think he would be awesome. And just wanting to understand what it's like to work for yourself.
Can be a strength or a weakness. Yes, it can.
Chris said, Rocco the Rum Runner rubbed out Rico the Rat with his Roscoe for...
Rum Running Receipts. That's from the movie Oscar with Sylvester Stallone. I love that movie.
Casey's ranch with buffalo wings is just wrong because blue cheese is the only way to go. Proud to be weird just found a sheep blue cheese. What did we see? We saw one. Was it sheep or goat blue cheese at Whole Foods that I wanted to get?
Yes.
But we were fasting.
Heather says my daughter Haley has horrible test anxiety. She got a 4.0 getting her master's degree because she did it online. He went to a virtual high school. How did you like that? Did you think it was better? Or?
I thought it was. It's definitely easier.
I think it depends on the person.
If you don't have any discipline,
you have to have discipline. So
the first month is probably rough.
The first month we had 2 children do virtual high school, and it was interesting because they were very different. So John Paul did it. And the way it worked was they gave you all of your assignments for the whole semester, and then you had to have a certain amount of assignments done
Usually
each week.
Usually you get like 2 or 3 done.
And they had to be done by Sunday at 5 o'clock. John Paul would have everything done, but he was going all the way till Friday evening because he always wanted to do stuff on the weekends.
Right.
Anthony was like, I'm getting everything done by Tuesday or Wednesday. Right. Then I'm going to do a couple from next week. And then the rest of the week, I'm playing video games or going to go work.
Yeah.
He was just like, I'm getting it done. But both of them, the first month, they wanted to quit because you have to have a lot of discipline in doing it.
Just scared.
And I think it's a little bit harder because you don't have a teacher standing over you if you don't understand something. You have to figure it out for yourself.
Yeah.
And reach out to the teacher.
I got 2 weeks ahead once, and one of the teachers yelled at me because I got too far ahead.
Okay, Miriam said, true that the proof is in the pudding, Joe. When you are much healthier, people can see it.
Yeah. Parrot Head Renee says, definitely can't beat our barbecue places.
Heather said, we can bring you tons of Maytag blue cheese when we come. It's made about an hour from us.
Slapstick Keto says, my rheumatologist is stunned with my blood work regarding my sclerodoma. Can barely tell I have it, and I'm in zero pain while I'm supposed to be in constant pain. Can't convince me it's unhealthy. That's awesome.
Yeah, the proof is in the pudding. That's the bottom line. People want to see studies. Well, look at all of the people. You know what? The diet that they've been recommending since 1977 obviously doesn't work. So
Susan says, did either of you stall? I haven't lost anything for almost 2 months. I do intermittent fasting 18 to 24 hours every day. Only eat 1 meal per day, carnivore. I'd like to lose 50 pounds more. Any suggestions? We have stalled.
Rachel definitely went through a stall where she was losing a size but no pounds.
Yeah. Make sure you're measuring yourself, and also that you're checking your size in clothing, because I would lose only 4 pounds but go down 2 dress sizes. So, yeah. So make sure you're checking that too.
My biggest, I mean, it's hard to just give you a bunch of suggestions based on that, but what I definitely would have some questions, like, what was your calorie intake pre-keto? Because there's a good chance that if you were always on a diet like we were, you really screwed up your metabolism, and it's going to take some time to repair that metabolism screw up, where you may end up being at a certain weight or gaining a little bit as your metabolism repairs. And then once your body gets used to that, it'll start going, oh, okay, and changing things up. I mean, and that, again, another thing from that book, which I thought this was a great example, when you look at metabolism, I've heard people say metabolism, like, it doesn't slow down. And it's like, and he had a great thing. If you're making $100,000 a year, and all of a sudden, and you're spending $100,000, and because let's face it, we all spend what we make.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, you get a pay decrease, and now you're only making $75,000. What's going to happen? Well, for a couple of months, you may be able to continue spending $100,000 because you've got some savings, i.e., body fat that you can, work off of. But eventually, you're going to have to cut your spending down to $75,000 or you're going bankrupt.
Right.
Well, it's the same thing with our metabolism. It's going to slow down if you just consistently give it less food. And you can only go so low. Rachel got all the way to 500 calories. How much lower was she going to go than 500 calories?
There was nowhere to go.
And then finally, what happened? Her body was like, fine, I'm operating at 500 calories. So if you give me 600 calories, I'm going to gain weight because I'm going to store everything you give me. So there's a lot of variables to that, but I'm curious, like, are you losing any size? Are you maintaining? I mean, so you're saying you're not losing any, but are you maintaining? And if you're eating high calorie, maybe you do want to cut back a little bit and not eat to, are you overeating? That could be part of it.
Yeah.
James said, I know when Steph started keto, our doctor was against it. I told her it was a bad because she was type 2. Well, thank the Lord she didn't let that stop her. We have got so much healthier than we were.
Man, yeah, I totally understand that. I remember how scared my mom was because her doctor wasn't for that, and she had type 2 diabetes for 20 years, and there was just sort of a settling into, this is a lifelong thing that I'm going to have to deal with, and, there was concerns about, her heart and all of those things, and when keto actually reversed the type 2 diabetes and stopped the blockages in her heart, it was kind of like the proof is sort of in the pudding. So it does take some courage to go against the goads and, go ahead and do it, even though you may be getting outside people saying that that's not a healthy thing.
I would say, I do think that you are going to start seeing some changes with the American Diabetes Association, since now the person who is running it lives a keto lifestyle, and believe it or not, is the first person to ever run the Diabetes Association that actually has diabetes.
Yeah.
So, like, a little different, not so much of a drug pusher. So I think you may start, I'm really hoping for that, that you're going to start seeing a change. But it just comes down to, what do you have to lose? I mean, what do you have to lose? When you start looking that starches are all sugars, well, why would, if you can't have sugar, why would you be giving your body sugar? I know when I grew up, diabetes meant you were never touching sugar again. Then they came out with all of these medications. Hey, now you can have sugar and just pop a pill.
Right.
Well, that's when everything got rampant.
Well, and I even see that with people sometimes in the keto community that are like, I'm just going to eat the carbs and take a carb blocker pill. That is not going to have the results that you want. And I would definitely advise against that.
Jacqueline said, my dad is whole food plant-based and starts preaching about elephants not eating meat. I just sit there thinking, in what way are we like elephants and how is this relevant? Absolutely. And I don't have a problem with plant-based whole food because, again, one of their biggest, they're not eating processed foods, but notice what's the difference. They eat zero fat.
Right.
They eat zero sugar. The only fat they get is whatever happens to be in the plants, like in an avocado. But The biggest problem with plant-based whole food is sometimes there's going to be some vitamins and nutrients that you absolutely cannot get because you need the fat to absorb them. Proud to be weird said research on mice are done with soybean oil and 40% carbs is a keto diet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's try to get caught up so we can finish everybody up. Looking just for questions for Anthony. Sorry. Mike said, funny how you didn't contradict that I called your other kids unreasonable. It must be true. Akita mom said, working in a professional kitchen is a terrible environment. It's very toxic.
Ooh, maybe he could be a private keto chef and charge people for a meal prep. I would buy fresh meals to have for those crazy days.
That's true.
Definitely something to think about.
Yeah, we have talked about that kind of stuff. I just don't want to, my personal thing, I don't want to get into food stuff and having to worry about inspections. I applaud people like Christy Davis and, Keto Savage who want to get, or even Chris and Miriam, to get into the food game and you have to worry about the inspections and all that other stuff.
So they're talking about people who... Like
Miriam said photographers don't have pictures of their kids.
Mechanics always drive the worst beaters. Plumbers have broken toilets.
That's true.
Slapstick said, that's why I don't have good software applications at home. I have lots of ideas to make stuff,
Chris
but I
has
don't.
a bidet toilet.
I am buying that.
Fantastic.
He keeps asking me when I'm buying that toilet. I am buying that Japanese toilet.
That weirds me out.
The only problem is I have to install electric in the bathroom because it needs electric. He said, I get my honey to-do list. You don't have to nag me every 6 months.
Oh, my gracious. That's funny.
Chris said, we have a neighbor whose wife went somewhere and he hired a handyman, so the entire honey-do list, she came home and loved it.
Mike says, when my son was young, he was afraid of every ride, even It's a Small World.
That wasn't that bad.
You weren't that bad. But I did sit with Caleb and Anthony usually on some of the like the mummy ride, and I would have one hand over one kid's eye and one hand over the other, and that way they could move open my fingers to see like what they wanted to see, but then close my hand if there was something they didn't want to see.
Steph said, I wondered who biological son he was because he favors Rachel more.
Yay!
Let's see. And Chris said I used up all my hair credits by having a mullet for too many years. I never had a mullet.
Ooh, Phil had an amazing mullet with a body perm. I'll send you pictures. Ooh, I can't wait to see those.
Miriam said, Joe, get a DEXA scan while you're in Utah. They are cheaper here. That's what the plan is.
That is the plan.
Just got my tickets. It's weird. Like all of the tickets coming home, we have to leave at like 11:30 at night on Sunday. So it's like a red eye. We don't land until 5 in the morning on Monday.
Slapstick Keto says, I finally perfected my keto peanut butter sauce, so I have a new keto cheesecake for next month. Ooh, you got to save that.
So Miriam has a coupon code for the DEXA place.
Awesome.
Heather said we can get a DEXA scan for $25 at the medical school in Des Moines.
Wow.
I wonder if University of Miami has it. It might be worth a drive to University
That
of
is
Miami.
awesome.
Yeah, Miriam said the DEXA body place like us by her is 2 for $75. Yeah, they want $150 for one.
Don't do Locks of Love that charge a lot for their wigs. Do wigs for kids. They give their wigs to cancer kids for free. Oh, wow.
Anything else here?
Let's see.
Okay, guys, off to bed. Have to get up real early to work in the morning. Yeah, we're getting ready to get off.
Anthony, for the most part, do you look at ingredients more since your folks started keto?
Yeah.
Shelly said Heath's getting a new smoker soon, so I see a brisket in our future.
Vintage girls. Hello, family. Hello, beautiful vintage girls. You're so awesome, Sauce.
Mike said you should eat. Miriam should challenge Chris to eat blue cheese for a week.
Heather clarifies that her son is 31 years old. He is not 7 years old and having trouble like not drinking beer for keto.
Alan said, I think Anthony should make his first cooking video making your blue cheese dressing. I think we already have the blue cheese dressing, but I know what Anthony's first video on our channel is going to be, and that is, because I know he's already come up with it,
Ramen.
is a keto Harry Potter butterbeer.
Yes.
You were off because my first instinct was no ramen.
Oh, you want to do the ramen? Okay.
Yeah.
But I know we've talked about the butterbeer. I know Rachel wants the butterbeer.
So he will be doing some recipes on the channel. So
Chris
excited.
said working for yourself is the worst. Your boss is a jerk, but at least you get to work any 15 hours a day that you want.
Parrot Head Renee says, Joe, I love your blue cheese dressing on anything. Do you have a recipe for a ranch? I'd love a keto-friendly Chipotle ranch.
I do have one. I just haven't done a video or put it on the website, but I have one like in my notes that I've worked on.
Chris says, so Joe's 1 hour and 18 minutes and isn't showing any signs of stopping. I bet we could keep him going until midnight Eastern.
No, we're getting off in a minute here. Miriam said, owning your own business for the win.
Cheryl Fisher says, if you decide to go to college, try WGU all online and you can work as fast or as slow as you want.
Miriam wants to know how tall you are.
5'11".
Heather said, if I eat OMAD, I don't lose weight because I'm not eating enough.
Steph says, sometimes I've wondered if when we think we're in a stall, it could be our bodies healing in other ways besides dropping the weight. Yeah.
Yes, I completely agree.
Anthony be like, Dad's monologuing about keto again.
Is that what you were laughing about?
Yes.
Slapstick said, got yelled at for doing your work too fast. I did my entire Algebra 3 book in 1 week, and I turned it all in and slept the entire year. This is why we homeschool.
I got threatened that if I did it again, I would get taken out of the class and I'd have to redo it. And then my guidance counselor told me if she says that again, she's getting fired.
Yeah, because the whole policy was don't get behind. We would get letters all the time about like 3/4 of his class was behind, and now you want to punish the kid who's working a month ahead. It's like, that's a good thing. Let's see. Susan said, my body has a lot of healing to do. I've been on so many different diets. I can fit into clothes that I haven't worn in years. I just have to be patient.
It is so hard being patient, though. And again, you never lose the weight where you want to. Like, seriously, cover your ears. The boobs go first. Like, or I will lose the weight in my neck or something. Nowhere where I want it. I'm still waiting for it to come off of my thighs. It's just a thing.
Mike said, I'm sampling the Keto Brick Cinnamon Crunch 2.0 that arrived today. It's really good. I forgot to order mine. I'm hoping they still have some, but I still love peanut butter.
Stephanie says the endocrinologist I had is now pushing keto as a suggestion with her other patients. In October, she had me come speak at a support meeting about keto, and she backed me up on everything.
That is so awesome.
Thank God for some of these doctors that are actually seeing results in their patients and sharing that good news, because what do the other patients have to lose? Maybe they can experience some healing in their bodies. I love that. What a great doctor.
Heather said the military is playing around with keto and fasting. Yes, I've seen that. I think it's awesome. MREs are pure carbs. When we were broke, Phil would bring them home, and that's what we ate. So gross, except for the candy in them.
Yeah.
He said, I eat a plant-based diet. My cows all eat plants, and I eat the cows. Miriam said, I also eat a plant-based diet. Cows eat all the plants that I eat. Yep. Renee said, guess that's why my body's all jacked up, because I fix everyone else's.
Kathleen says, oh, I love my bidet. Rachel, give them a try. You'll be loving that clean feeling.
No.
Chris said, don't forget ruminants and pseudo-ruminants, like elephants, don't actually get any nutrition from the plants they eat. They live on the fats and proteins from the bacteria in their GI.
Chris just knows everything about everything. Just amazing.
Random fact.
Anthony, oh yes, do a monthly keto meal delivery kit. I am in. First customer right here.
Kathleen said, if it's not too personal, who is whose biological son for the siblings? So Anthony and our oldest, John Paul, who doesn't live at home anymore, he is 22.
Yeah.
And those are my biological children. And
but they're my children.
And they're Rachel's children. And then Caleb is Rachel's biological child. And we've been together since Anthony and Caleb were both 6. Caleb will be 19 in the end of March.
They all my babies.
Mike said, when my son Thomas let his hair grow too long, I started calling him Thomas Mullet. Chris said, Anthony should do a high five delivery service. A big palm pops out of the box when you open it.
Nice.
Chris said, I'm cheating. I told you I'm skipping for Anthony comments.
Anthony, I need that ramen. My carby kid loves ramen, and I need something for her to have her give it up. All right. Oh, okay. Good.
Tiffany said, keto ramen, is this real life?
It's happening. He's making it happen.
Savvy said, tomorrow I'm using Joe's yogurt to make Headbangers Kitchen keto tzatziki sauce to dip chicken bites in it. Yeah, he just released that recipe. It looks awesome.
Parrothead Renee says, if I don't have an immersion blender, what would you use? I have a hand mixer and a Vitamix too.
Are you talking? If you're talking about for the mayonnaise, you can do it in a blender or in a food processor. It is much more difficult because what you have to do is pour that oil like almost drop by drop. It's got to go in very slow at a very steady pace, so it's a lot more difficult. The immersion blender is the easiest way to go. I've wasted so much avocado oil and eggs, and I know how to do it in a food processor that I just decided at that point I just started going and buying Primal Kitchen all the time. It's just not worth it to me. You can get immersion blenders though super cheap. You can get them for like $30 or $40. You don't have to buy an expensive one. And if you're serious about making your own mayonnaise, it'll pay for itself in the first month.
Mary Nikita says, hey there. Mike says, I think I lost a couple of pounds in my weight in my feet. Yes.
My shoe size went down like 1. So did yours, right? Your shoe size went down 1.
It did. I was a 9, 9.5, and now I am an 8, 8.5.
So Heather said, Vintage Girls, the government has a way of messing everything up or they just hurry up and wait.
Kathleen says, love that all the boys are children of your hearts, Rachel and Joe.
Yes.
I don't think that a family works if you have a step mentality.
No.
Like, Anthony and Caleb, one of the first things we did is have them share a room.
Yeah.
And I definitely think that they got much closer because out of have to. And we were pretty restrictive as far as like hanging out with friends, you know, when they would be like, hey, I want to hang out with friends.
Yeah, can I go have a sleepover? I'm like,
you got a friend.
No, you can have friends at school, but at home, you have a built-in friend right there.
Because even for us, I can really count on one hand the friends that I had in school that I'm still in a friendship with. You just lose track of that, but you know, family's forever, and I wanted that relationship to blossom, and they're really good friends, even though they're very different. I love the way that they bring different challenges to each other and really talk it out, even now as adults.
Somebody said their ring size went down. My ring size went down like 3 sizes. Rachel had to wear hers on her thumb, and they would still fall off.
I had mine on my middle finger for a really long time because it was too big, and I thought, we've got to get this thing sized down because I felt like I was making a social statement toward marriage.
So Renee wants to know what a good immersion blender is. There's a lot of them. I mean, the one that I have came with a bunch of attachments, but you can get a KitchenAid one for like $40. Like, go on to Amazon, type in KitchenAid immersion blender. Hamilton Beach has got a good one, someone's saying. Chris makes his in the food processor. You can make it in a food processor. It's just with an immersion blender, you can do it in like 30 seconds to a minute. If you look at that video that we have, you put everything in a mason jar, or if you think it's a little bit too small, make it in like a 2-cup like Pyrex dish, like a measuring cup, and then pour it into the mason jar. But it takes 30 seconds to a minute.
I like the no mess.
If you ask me, I think the number one appliance you should buy on keto is an immersion blender. You can make your bulletproof coffees. You can make your mayonnaise. You can, if you're doing keto chow, you can use it to blend up keto chow. There's so many uses for an immersion blender.
There really is.
Vintage Girl says, lots of government drag for sure, but we aren't going to stop until we get some nutritional guidelines changed, which they're supposed to be doing this year. The fight is too important. Hopefully this will be our year.
Yes.
We are caught up, and it's only an hour and 38 minutes.
Wow.
We got caught up. Well, considering we had a special guest, we really do appreciate all you guys. Do you have anything to say? No?
I'm hot.
You're hot?
Yeah.
So,
like handsome or
I tried to get Anthony. Anthony was like, Anthony at 2 o'clock today. He's like, I want to go home. I need to eat. And I'm like, hey, I'm over 90 hours fasting. He goes, that's by your choice. I'm like, you ate breakfast.
I had a hash brown. I had a hash brown.
Mike said I don't eat enough mayo to justify eating it. A jar of mayo probably lasts me 6 months. Chris said I got ahead by cheating. Rhonda said, wow, no jealousy with the biologicals, with the mom thing. That's wonderful. So anyway, yep, we are going to close this one off tonight. We're going to have a nice date day tomorrow.
Probably next week we'll have Caleb.
We're going to try to get Caleb on for next week's live stream. Hopefully it won't take us an hour and a half next week. Maybe we'll try to get him on right at the very beginning.
Yeah.
So, guys, we love all of you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for subscribing, for sharing our videos. I can't believe we are over 8,500 subscribers already.
It's only because of you guys.
It's only because of you guys. We look forward to an incredible finishing up this month and a great month of March. And we will see all of you guys next week.
We love you.
Bye.
Bye.